Okay, we are describing the slope. When we describe the slope, we would describe the slope as positive because it's increasing from left to right, and then find the slope. So find the slope means I need to pick 2 points that are on the line. This point and this point are definitely on the line. So when we do slope, we're doing rise over run. So if I count up 1, that's my rise, so positive 1, and I run 2, and it's to the right, so that's a positive. So my slope is going to be 1/2. Number 37, the points represented by the table lie on a line. Find the slope. So I need my slope formula. My slope formula looks like this. Now I can pick any points to call 1 and 2. I would call the first one 1 and the second one 2. So I'm going to label my points. And then I'm going to calculate my values. So 15 minus 9, I'm subtracting my y's, and 11 minus 6. So 15 minus 9 gives me 6, 11 minus 6 gives me 5. So my slope is 6/5. Number 38, this is x1, x2, y1, y2. If I subtract, I have -2 minus -5 over 3 minus 3. -2 minus -5 is going to give me +3, and on the bottom I'm going to get 0. If I get 0 on the bottom of any division question, that means it's undefined. We can't divide by 0. So slope is undefined. Next one, x1, x2, y1, y2. So we're going to subtract -1.6 minus -1.6 over -3 minus -4. On the top, we're going to get 0. On the bottom, we're going to get 1. When you get 0 on the top, 0 divided by anything gives you 0. So that's the big difference between these two. We can have 0 on the top, my answer is 0. If I have 0 on the bottom, it's undefined. All right, number 40. Graph the linear equation, identify the x-intercept. So I'm going to start by thinking about y equals mx plus b. I'm going to begin with my b value. This is my b value. So b is 4. That's where I begin. And then my slope is 2. It's whatever is attached to the x. So this means 2 over 1, which means up to right 1. So I know I need to begin at 4, and I need to go up to right 1. So if I go up to right 1, that's going to put me here. But this says I need my x-intercept. So that means I need to figure out where does it touch this x-axis. So I'm going to have to continue my pattern. If I went up to right 1, that's the same thing as if I went down to left 1 in the other direction. And then down to left 1. So it would touch right there, and this would make my line. So my x-intercept would end up being -2, 0. Okay, another way I could have figured that out is if I made y 0. I could have done it algebraically. I would subtract 4 from each side, and then divide each side by 2, and I get x is -2. So either way, I get the same answer. I can either use my graph, or I can do it algebraically. All right, number 41. This is set up in standard form. When it's set up in standard form, it's usually easiest to graph by finding the intercepts. So if I do that, I'm going to make x 0, and I get y is -10. So that means the point 0, -10 is on my graph. And then if I make y 0, I get x is +2. So 2, 0 is on my graph. So I'm going to graph kind of up here, and I'm going to count by 2's. So I've got negative 10 down here, and I've got positive 2 up here, and then I'm going to connect these. And it says, what's my x-intercept? So my x-intercept is 2. Okay, number 42, again, this is in standard form. So since it's in standard form, I'm going to plug in my zeros. So I've got y equals 1. So that's the point 0, 1. And then I'm going to plug in 0 for my other variable. And I've got negative 1/2 x equals 1. I'm going to multiply. And my x is negative 2. So that's the point negative 2, 0. So when I make my graph, negative 2, 0, and 0, 1. My x-intercept is this one. This is set up in standard form again. So I'm going to plug in 0. So I've got 0, 3. And then I'm going to plug in 0 for my other variable. So I've got 9, 0. So I'm not going to be able to fit 9 on this graph. So since I can't fit 9 on this graph, I'm going to count by 3s. So I've got 9, 3, 6, 9. 9, 0 is here. This is my x-intercept. 0, 3 is right here, and then I connect. Okay, so that's that.